Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. Got a ton of stuff to talk about today, so make sure you press that like button if you enjoy the daily crypto news. And my question of today, if you had to pick between crypto or real estate, which one would you pick? Put it down below in the comment section. Alright, first piece of news. Ripple scores a major win as the judge finds out if the SEC lied to the court. Well, to be honest with you, the summary about this one is the judge is going to find out if the SEC basically lied somewhere. How does this work? Well, what happened basically over the last day is that we saw the SEC put up a letter that they don't want any additional documents to be reviewed by the court. And that is basically because Ripple requested that a couple of days ago as well. Now, Ripple replied saying, no, we do think you should actually give these documents over to the court because they're quite pivotal, and the judge basically granted it. What are those documents, you might ask? Well, we've covered it partially in some of our videos before, but one in particular is an email chain concerning discussions with a third party, which we believe is an exchange, whom defendants understand received guidance from the SEC to analyze its digital asset under the framework set forth in Director William Himmon's June 14, 2018 speech. So the SEC sent an email, this is the quote, right, to a third party telling them to analyze a digital asset using the factors in the Hinman speech, which speech was just his personal opinion. And understand now, it's the SEC that needs clarity, Attorney Jeremy Hogan commented at the time, pointing out to the SEC's contradictions. And I've been thinking about this for a good while, guys. I honestly think that if the judge looks through and she notices that not only is it not privileged, but also is it just plainly, basically wrong in accordance to what they've said before, that might actually be a really big deal. Because think about it. If the judge has to read through this now because she has to verify the privilege, and the privilege assertion basically means whether or not the SEC would have to show it in court or not, and whether or not it can be used basically as evidence or whatnot. The SEC still had to give over the document now, and the judge is going to read it because she granted it, and so she's going to make up her mind about whether or not the rest of the stuff is privileged. But also, guys, if they literally lied to the judge, she's now going to know because she has to check through this email. She has to check through what the SEC sent to one of their people. And so whether or not the William Himmon speech was actually advice and tried or used to guide the market or just a personal opinion is now going to come to light. And I think that's really interesting. That does not mean we're going to know it for sure, by the way, but it's I guess in the easiest way, clarification on some end. I'm just happy about it, guys. I can't really complain about these types of things. It's just usually kind of satisfying, at least I find it. All right, but that's one piece of news. We've got a ton of stuff, guys, so stick around. Bitcoin exchange flows. I wanted to quickly analyze to see what's going on, and to be honest with you, it's not that interesting. A lot of people have called it up to me, or called me up, how do you say it? Whatever. They put it up to me saying, hey, look at it, take a look there. Well, I checked it out now, and actually, the purple line here being the Bitcoin exchange reserves has actually been quite stable since 14th of September, basically. You know, it's been, you can, I guess, draw a couple of triangles in there if you really wanted to analyze some stuff. I don't think that's necessary, that a breakout is about to come towards the downside or something, no. But mostly just, it's showing that a really, really small amount of Bitcoin is being kept on exchanges. And it's funny because a little while ago, some article from Glassnode, I believe, they told us that the last time that the Bitcoin, or maybe it's even crypto holders, got into 95% profit, which basically meant that 95% of people are in profit. There was a huge Bitcoin sell-off of about 50%, which means a huge crypto sell-off in general. However, this time around, I shared over on my YouTube here that I don't think that's going to happen, mostly because, well, that time we were at an all-time high. So people just literally kind of want to sell at that point because they can, and it's an all-time high. Right now, even though a lot of people are in profit, basically, we're not at an all-time high just quite yet. And I think the majority of people would actually wait till we get to that point, if not a little bit further, so they didn't waste all this time. Because if you got to a higher price last and now bought, you definitely want to get to that area again. But together with the fact that exchange reserves are still, again, if you ask me, extremely low right now, it's like, it's not really looking as if a lot of people are preparing for some huge sell-off or some huge move like that. I mean, it doesn't look that logical. Then again, don't let my update here cloud your judgment, because even last time here, we basically had a pretty high Bitcoin price, and the exchange reserves basically went up and up and up, and Bitcoin started to crash a little bit later. It's not a one-to-one. All I'm trying to say is that it doesn't look logical for a huge sell-off to happen right now, because the Bitcoin reserves are already that low. Usually the Bitcoin reserves go back up first, as you can clearly see here, before a huge sell-off is happening, because otherwise there's not that much Bitcoin out there to actually sell. Then again, it's all relative, but that's my own opinion on the matter. Then, guys, I'm going to quickly announce it again, and I'm going to be doing that for the entire week here. I'm going to be announcing it a lot. There's a Bybit competition coming up, 50,000 XP on the line. Check it out. A link is going to be down below. If you haven't registered yet, make sure you do so. All you need is 250 XP in your account and to trade for about $100 worth. That's how you enter. You guys already know it. Just read through it. It's so freaking simple, but you got to quickly check it out, all right? It's definitely going to be worth it, guys. It's almost 10 people are going to be getting free money. At least that's the way that I see it. Binance US announces new CEO who looks forward to the pathway to IPO. So Binance US's IPO has now been kind of confirmed. We all knew that they wanted to follow into Coinbase's steps, and we all know it was about to happen at one point or another. But the Brian Brooks CEO, the previous control of the currency head, he stepped up, so we were kind of waiting like, who's it going to be? But apparently the new CEO is called Brian Schroeder, and the crypto exchange platform had appointed him president in September. During his stint, Schroeder was taking care of the company's strategy and execution, among other things. And now he quoted, "In my short time with Binance US, I have already seen the tremendous potential the company has for the rapid growth in the United States." And, well, yeah, he says here as well, as Binance US filed in the gap in its organization, Schroeder added, "It is truly a privilege. I look forward to growing our team, to expand our products and services, and begin our initial first steps on our pathway to IPO." And guys, I keep sharing it with y'all. I think that's about to be really big, as the Binance US IPO can be kind of the start of the realm, or like wave of crypto exchanges that go for an IPO. Coinbase started it, yes, but it's usually the second which is most courageous and takes the most amount of effort, basically, because somebody's already done it and they did it in a certain manner. You have to prove that it can be done better, or at least good, kind of a second time. The first is like, there's no measure for how it should have been done yet, so you're setting the stage. The second, that's where things get important. Biden administration to get tough on stablecoins. We have been reading a lot about Biden. Guys, I come back to the same opinion every single time. Biden is not really that good for crypto, but they will not be banning it. They will not get any really negative things out there. If anything negative is happening to stablecoins, it's not an outright ban or anything that's too bad. The thing is though, guys, with stablecoins, they are not making money. Think about it from this perspective. If there's any way that the US can get more tax, I personally think nothing's going to happen with it. Like Bitcoin, XRP, all those cryptos, they're going to sometimes try, but that's ultimately because there's more money to be made in some other way. Like, for example, with a lawsuit, you can sometimes make more money than with the taxes potentially, right? Who knows? But generally speaking, they even use crypto in their infrastructure bill as a tax plan. There's no way they're going to get completely rid of it. That would be so contradictory to their plans. It would make absolutely no sense. So stablecoins, however, there's not really any easy profitability model that I can think of, except for some of the backing companies like Tether or Circle, and you're just going to kind of tax the freaking F out of them. But I'm not sure exactly how those guys pay taxes and how exactly that, that works, because I'm not sure exactly where the profit is in either. I'm not exactly sure how the fees work and everything like that, like where they get the money from. So I'm not going to be quoting on that. But most likely, they've just made the way off, and the stable coins are too hurtful for the US dollar, or too many people getting scammed or something like that. It's not properly backed. It's just there's some risky parts in a collapsing way. They're most likely on the way off. I don't really see it yet, but that's the worst case. But then again, guys, stable coins, a lot of them will be fine. A lot of them will be fine for the longest amount of time. And even if they go after them, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world, except for if it comes out and people show that it's a fraud or something like that. That would be bad. But if they come for them, it's going to be a slow process. It's going to take years. And even though crypto might take a little bit of a dent, it's not going to all of a sudden fall to the ground. It's not going to be dead all of a sudden, crypto. Then spot Bitcoin reserves fall to the lowest level since October 2017. This, of course, guys, is what I based my research here on. I was checking it out, and I'm not really sure if that's the case. I'm not sure if it actually went down that low, like trying to say. I mean, could be, but to me, it looks like September 16th was actually a lot lower than it is right now. Again, don't quote me on that. Might not be exactly true, but it looks like it to me. And if not, then it's pretty damn similar. Then again, this is all exchange reserves. Maybe there's a different one for only spot. No. I'm not exactly sure. I guess this should be the spot, right? Because it's all exchange reserves. It should just be spot. Not exactly sure. Then again, I don't think it really matters at all. People usually like to make little fun stories about all of this, but it's not really that important, to be honest with you, at all. Like, how much Bitcoin is on there is just an indicator of how much people can sell really in the short term. Then again, if a big whale wants to sell, he can literally deposit his 1 million Bitcoin onto the exchange and sell it instantly. It didn't have to be on exchanges beforehand, you know. So the pressure is kind of superficial because it doesn't actually make any difference for the actual selling that's about to commence. And then again, another part is that futures can actually be even way more detrimental for the price than the actual spot. Albeit, Bitcoin is gold 2.0 with plus or possible $20 trillion market cap, immutable holding CEO says. So even though we've talked about all this miscellaneous stuff just now, and gold is still in the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, I personally believe crypto is going to be a multi-hundred or multi-centy trillion dollar industry. I'm talking 100, 200, 300 trillion dollars eventually. The immutable holding CEO now says Bitcoin is gold 2.0. and will one day surpass gold's market value of around $10 trillion. In fact, given that it is the next generation of gold, Bitcoin will likely double gold's market value and hit $20 trillion or more, implying $1 million a coin if close to 21 million coins are mined, said Fried. Huh. Very interesting, huh? This is Jordan Fried, the CEO and chairman of blockchain portfolio provider Immutable Holdings, and he's projected that Bitcoin will hit $1 million somewhere. Interesting. Very, very interesting if you ask me. I agree with the idea. Even though I'm not sure if Bitcoin will stay number one for that long, I do believe that the idea is definitely solid, and I do believe in the process, and I guess we shall see. That's all I'm about to say about it. All right, guys, that was it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure that you press that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today if we have any more news.